All right, guys. Happy New Year. New year, new me. It is currently 1:55. Um just past New Year, and well, this year's going to be exciting for sure. I really hope that this year will be full of success, full of happiness. I really hope so. 2025 was a bit of a struggle mentally. I hope that, watching videos, commentating on these would be a bit more of a therapy for me. Let's see how that's gonna go. I hope I could do this full time so I don't have to work in my current job. We'll see. Okay? Alrighty. New year, new me. Happiness. Let's go. What do we have here? Singaporean gossip. Let's go. Okay.
High society, so you don't have to. And here are some things that you didn't know about them. Number one, they don't get married in Singapore. These crazy rich Asians, they go to the Maldives, they go to Nepal. Apparently, it's like somewhat low class to get married in Thailand now because so many people do it. And Bali is absolutely, not atas.
I'm pretty sure she's not talking about like marrying as in like the registration. I guess some countries you could register in different countries while you're getting married, but I'm pretty sure she's talking about marriage ceremonies and stuff.
Singapore just doesn't have enough space for them to rent out an entire island. I mean, the nation is an island. Number two, they're all cheating on each other. This goes for both the boomer generation and for the people that are closer to my age. My ex fiance's parents were a very interesting couple because his mom grew up not so rich but very pretty, and his dad was kind of chopped, but from a very rich family. And also his mom was Peranakan, i.e. she was part Malay, who are typically disadvantaged compared to the Chinese majority. So I think she was in like some kind of contract with his family to birth three children for them, and then she was allowed to stop. But she had three children in 4 years. And then after that, when her husband was on business trips, she just like had strange men over at the house apparently. And as for the younger generation, they often like they do open relationships but don't really tell anybody except for the people that they're sleeping with. But it's pretty obvious. Another thing that I noticed over there is that money transcends ethnicity. So among the
One thing I learned about Asians in America and even in China, um, I go there every once in a while, and you kind of just know that money is very much a big thing. Money is super important. Everyone has to have reputation. They call it face. Everyone's got to have face. Gotta show face. The people they hang out with, the kind of jobs that they do, everything is taken to the extreme, it feels like.
very top circle of people in Singapore. A lot of them are Chinese, obviously, ethnically, like Chinese Singaporean. But then there's a bunch of Taiwanese, some Koreans, some Indians, Nepalese, Pakistani, Indonesian, like they all hang out together. There are only so many billionaires on the continent because Singapore has such favorable tax laws. A lot of them buy houses there and like have their businesses registered there. And the girls are always fighting. The one wedding that I went to, it was at like a six-star international hotel chain. And then a few days after the wedding, the bride called me over to her house and told me that one of the girls she had invited had written a 1-star review on TripAdvisor, basically calling out all of the resort's wedding preparations and saying that they were inadequate. So this was like a roundabout, really backhanded way of saying that that wedding wasn't shit. But the bride was still gonna go to that other girl's wedding in like a year or so and was planning that takedown. I'm back in the States now. I am obviously no longer part of Singaporean high society. I never was. I was just an infiltrator. And you know what? They knew that I wasn't one of them. You know why? Because the one ethnic group that you won't find hanging out among them are mainland Chinese. Mainland Chinese are often looked at as invaders.
I don't think it's just mainland Chinese that she looks like Chinese. I look like, well, I guess you could say I'm mainland, like southerner Chinese, Cantonese speaker and such. She clearly does not look like that. If you've traveled enough, you kind of know that some people do look like they're from the southern part of China or whichever region they're from. Yeah, she clearly looks a bit more like northern Chinese.
China is considered lower class, even though China also has a lot of billionaires. And they could tell that I was mainland and not Taiwanese, not any other kind of Chinese, just because, like, this face, it could only be made in the Northeast. And they all had American accents too, because they all went to college and.
Funny enough, if you travel enough to countries that wants to look more sophisticated, more international or connected to the West type of thing, a lot of them, even like on advertising, would speak with a British accent. Just a thought.
Prep school in America. But they knew because I wasn't carrying the right bag. But mostly it was because of my face. Mostly because of my ethnicity. Like, I could not be ancestrally from anywhere else. And it was just very funny to watch. Oh, also a lot of the women, they don't really eat. And they have not eaten since they were children, resulting in me being, like, bigger in every dimension than they are. So I was like...
No, that's genetics. That's genetics. Southerner Chinese tends to be shorter, and Northerner Chinese tends to be a bit taller.
Looking down at this whole situation and wondering, like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? If you have any questions about Crazy Rich Asians, please ask me.
Okay, that's cool. Alrighty, time to refresh my For You page. Let's see what's going on. Christianity has a big problem. A bit too spicy, but I can't load, so... Oh, no, dude. LS Trials?
Sounds... Sean, you hear that?
It sounds like...
I'm dead already!
I don't hear nothing.
Me
He
neither.
wants
Nah, they're gonna grab him. I already know the spoiler to this.
China's economy is facing a new threat. In most countries, governments complain when prices are too high. But in China, the government's angry that prices are too low. This has come about due to a phenomenon called involution.
Wait, what?
Involution.
Okay, I think I've seen this one.
You know it's going to be a good inspection when you pull up and the project manager's inside waiting for you and he says, "So, are you here to do the inspection?" I said, "Yes, sir, if that's okay with you." He said, "Yes, no problem, have at it, but I just want you to know, the drywallers are on their way to do a couple repairs. We had to move some things around and relocate a smoke detector." And that's when I knew we were about to have some fun. Yeah! Yay! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Woohoo! Here we are at the air conditioner. We have a 60 amp breaker just sitting here. I see this all the time. These are like $30, I'm pretty sure, but they just get left here. But anyways, they took out the 60 amp and they put in a 25 amp, and check it out. Let's see, max circuit breaker 25. But here at the panel, the main breaker here, the breaker is 35 at the AC. So we got 35 sent to the disconnect, 25 at the disconnect. Tell me, guys, is this okay? You want a door?
No joke. I don't know a whole lot about these, so I can't really commentate too much, but I am very interested to learn more about houses and stuff, especially if I do get my own house one day. But this is interesting, though. Reading these comments is like insane. It's so educational.
Doorbell? It's gonna cost you. Maybe the neighbor could borrow some of this pine straw. My goodness. Just shut the garage door here. This track does look a little bit like it's angled upward, and as soon as it hits the bottom, it opens right up automatically. I did not touch that button. Refrigerant line looks great until we get to this spot where we can see it's exposed. We got to insulate this better. They had the smoke detector here and they relocated it to here. I'm not sure why. Here in the laundry.
Sometimes I see these type of videos and it just feels like obviously it's very much done by professionals, but sometimes it feels like it's just literally tape and glue. Like dudes are just like having fun, taping, gluing things together. It's like, oh damn, okay. I don't know. It's cool to see the chefs working.
We have power here, but we don't have power here. Is this GFI protected? Sure is. Probably should clean up some of this glue that's spilt on the floor. They caulked this all the way to the top. That looks great. Just need to extend the caulking on this side all the way to the top. We're here at the photo eyes at the garage. We're looking at about 11 inches off the ground. Actually, should only be 6 inches off the ground. It's recommended to only be 6 inches off the ground so that if a small pet or a ball or a small child was to be underneath there, it would sense it and automatically open the door. Great job leveling this AC unit, boys. You know it's...
Very educational. Thank you.
Nickelodeon has always hated and mistreated the Avatar series, so no, I am not surprised that they pulled it from a theatrical release. This is just the norm. This started back with the original series, which they never really did anything to. They just sort of ignored it, didn't market it, didn't make any merchandise for it. But that all changed with the live-action adaptation in 2010, which we all like to try to pretend doesn't exist. You see, the original creators of the show, Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, originally did not want a live-action movie adaptation to occur, but they did agree to it as long as they could direct. However, Nickelodeon said no once again. Trying to be good sports, they still agreed to consult with the series, but they were horrifically mistreated by the studio and completely dismissed for every one of their concerns, which then involved them pulling out. You see, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to production of this series. They also completely rushed the production of it and completely miscast the entire movie. With this one in particular being very bad. You see, that is Nicola Peltz, who was cast for Katara, and her father is Nelson Peltz, billionaire and businessman. He is a heavy investor when it comes to Nickelodeon, and it is rumored that they owed him a favor, and his favor he requested to cast his daughter in the film. This caused them to have to cast the entire Water Tribe to match her ethnicity. But to be honest, I don't think they really cared about the ethnicity of their castings, as Jesse McCartney was originally cast to play Zuko, but was changed out in the middle due to internal politics. The exact reasoning is unknown. They then went on to cast the only people of color in the entire film as the villains, and at the last minute something else happened. You see, James Cameron's 2009...
The thing is, I don't mind that, people of color is done as the villain. I know it looks really bad. There's a whole history behind that, to be honest. But if the actors are good, if it somewhat makes sense, I know Hollywood or even modern audience wouldn't find that acceptable. But I don't know, if it serves the camera, if it looks good, if the actors are good, and if it makes sense, then go for it. Go for it.
And Avatar came out and it was a huge hit, and so they wanted in post-production for the entire film to be changed to 3D so that maybe people would get them confused and buy a 3D ticket. This resulted in the studio having to rush to get it completed and supposedly having to cut 30 minutes of additional footage as they just could not finish it in post-production in time. Not that we...
Honestly, yeah, even if you have the additional 30 minutes, this movie was so ass, dude.
Really needed it, if we're being honest. But the mistreatment doesn't stop there. Their pièce de résistance is, of course, Legend of Korra, which is one of the most mistreated series on Earth. You see, they didn't even really want to greenlight the series. They originally didn't want it because it had a female lead, and supposedly the head of Nickelodeon stated that girls will watch shows about boys, but boys won't watch shows about girls. The original creators convinced them to greenlight it anyway, as they did test screenings and found that little boys claimed they did not care that Korra was a woman. And so production of the series continued, with them ordering a 12-episode miniseries that was supposed to be very contained. And so they wrote it that way, but mid-production they decided, no, let's make it 26 episodes and ordered a season 2. This resulted in season 2 just being kind of bad and incongruous in storyline.
Yeah, season 2 was pretty bad. There were 1 or 2 episodes that were good. I think the Avatar 1 episodes. Other than that, no, it was pretty bad.
In addition to that, they also traded out animation studios midway through season 2, so some of the animation quality is a little off as well. But midway through season 2, they did it again and asked for them to make it a 52-episode series instead, greenlighting seasons 3 and 4. They then went to work on the scripts for seasons 3 and 4, and season 3 in particular was an extremely good one. But the studio undermined them again, and the last 3 episodes of season 3 never broadcasted on television. Now keep in mind, this is 2014, so streaming's not as big a deal yet.
Yes, I remember this. They put it on their website, if I remember correctly. And it was the more violent episodes. I think that was the reasoning. I could be wrong, though.
And they didn't even put it on an official streaming platform. They simply put it online at Nickelodeon.com. They did this again for season 4, where they never broadcasted it on Nickelodeon itself and only put it directly online, which completely limited viewership. Many people have speculated whether they did this because of Korosami. I think they just genuinely did not believe in the show. After this, for the most part, they kind of just ignored the series, but then in 2018, something amazing happened. They finally gave the rights to streaming to Netflix, and so then Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra both went to streaming. This caused a huge increase in popularity, which caused Netflix to want to make another live-action adaptation. And once again, the original creators were said to be involved in production. So everything looks good, right? Wrong. In 2020, they then released a letter to fans saying they were withdrawing their involvement in the series due to production difficulties and not being heard again. They once again were being mistreated by the studio. Now, I admit this one is a lot better than the 2010 version, but it's still missing some of the heart of the series. Which brings us to modern day, where they have made their own studio and had announced a new movie, which was supposed to have a theatrical release but has been delayed multiple times. And it's a shame because both of these series have been heavily regarded as some of the greatest of all time. Nickelodeon has always hated...
I wonder, how much ownership do they have in this series? Maybe it's like, I don't know, a fraction or something, but still worth looking into. That way they'll have more say in it. And not just like, rely on Nickelodeon or Paramount. Oh, by the way, fuck Paramount. They're about to be bought out too, so fuck them.
Grandma, can you tell me how you and Grandpa met?
How me and Grandpa met?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So we met when I was 14 and he was
26. Oh,
Oh
Lord.
my
I worked
god.
at a coffee shop at the time, and he would come in every day. And it was funny, because he never actually bought anything.
He would just stare at me. What a gentleman, right? No, Grandma.
He actually followed me home a couple times, and sometimes...
Honestly, I'm Chinese, so I don't really have these type of stories. From what I know, almost every one of the stories, my grandparents are from like on both sides, my dad and my mom's side. They're all from the rural villages, so meaning it's like it's mostly just families getting them to get married. Basically, it's like, oh, this family's good, this family's bad, blah blah blah. That's about it. It's kind of like marrying kings to like friendly nations with their queens or something, or their, I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
at night,
I'd see his car parked outside my window.
my parents never really fancied him.
They actually had to chase him off the property a couple of times.
But he was just so in love.
With a 14-year-old.
Could you really even blame
You're a
him?
victim, Mima.
At first, I thought he was a little weird.
Yeah,
But I soon
obviously.
came to realize he just wanted...
Wanted to get to know me better. What the?
Honestly, he was uglier than a pig in the mud. But I knew it was true love because he
Waited for me for 4 years.
He proposed to me
Right when I turned 18.
We
Oh,
got married
The next month.
And
What?
actually, February will be our
60th year anniversary.
Oh, nice. Grandma, can you tell me how you and Grandpa met?
how me and Grandpa met.
Oh my god. Grandma found Grandpa when he was hitchhiking. What the hell? You know, some of these stories are pretty funny, but pretty grim, looking back on it. I think, like, if some of these grandparents are still a bit younger and they believe in therapy, they should definitely go to therapy. Just because their story is, like, so messed up. And not even by modern standard. Like, how hard is it just, like, tell people just, you know, don't do weird stuff. Go marry adults, you know? It's just that simple. I know some people will say, like, oh, what about the gap in age and blah, blah, blah. You know, if you're adult, you're adult. That's all I could say, you know?
Okay, one more.
Stop.
Oh, stop it. Okay, now
Sorry.
just take a second. I'll say senior prom.
Senior prom.
Oh, you guys look so cute.
We have to go.
Sure. I'm not gonna watch
What's your
this.
car payment and what do you drive?
Just short up $2,700 a month. But every morning I have to decide if I'm going to drive the Tahoe Premier or the M4 Competition X Drive.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
$1,342, and I drive a Silverado 3500 HD.
Hey, what kind of car do you drive and what is your car payment?
I drive a Lincoln Navigator. My car payment is $1,450.
Hey Jacob, what kind of car do you drive and what is your monthly payment?
A Chevy Silverado is $934.
What kind of car do you drive and what is your monthly payment?
I drive a Ram 3500. My monthly payment $1,200.
Wow.
Hey, Butu, what kind of car do you drive?
In all honesty, actually, no, you know what? It's not even honesty. I remember watching a video about these. Car dealerships are literally the new banks, kinda. Where banks are supposed to, you know, give out loans, grab the money, you know, put it in. Car dealerships are the same freaking thing. They aren't even selling cars. It doesn't even feel like they're selling cars anymore. They don't want to sell cars. They want to sell the lease, the payment. They want you to pay the loans. And the crappy thing is, it's like, if you're a responsible person and you're like, hey, I want to pay it quicker, guess what? They're gonna impose fees on you for trying to pay more than the amount necessary. Some loans do that because they want to keep you back in line. They want to keep you paying on the long term. And that sucks, dude. I wish they put some more laws in that.
And what are your monthly payments?
Right now, I currently drive a 2025 Nissan Armada, the new body style. My current payments are $1,573 right now.
What do you drive and how much do you pay?
I drive a 2023 Kia Telluride SX X Pro, and I pay $797 a month.
What do you drive and how much do you pay?
Currently buying, but it'll be probably around the high $700 range. 2025 Kia K4.
Cool.
And at the end, they showed somebody they were roping in for high $700 car payments on a Kia K4. Oh man, that doesn't include insurance either. I mean, we could talk about almost every one of them. $800 a month for the Kia, whatever trim model it was, as if anybody cares. Almost $1,600 for the new Nissan Armada. It's a Nissan. And it's basically like a badge of honor to these people how much money they could spend on depreciating vehicles, trying to make it more normal in today's society. And that's exactly what this comment section talks about, trying to normalize high car payments. I see they're trying to normalize the high interest rates as well. WTF, did he say 2,700? Reminder, these people are trying to convince you that your car payment is affordable because that $700 a month isn't nearly as bad as $2,700. $797 for a Kia is criminal, and then right after that, the $700 for a Kia K4. I honestly really feel bad for that kid. Is this an advertisement to not buy a new car? Is this supposed to make me want to buy a new car? Those payments are scary. I'll pass and keep driving my paid for truck.
What's your car?
You know, I'm pretty sure if you talk to those people at the dealership, like the people that are working there, that is their environment. They'll say that this is normal within their city, within their industry. And that's the scary part about it. It's like, they are legit the people, like, without themselves even knowing that they are the people that make up this market. And it's scary. It's scary how, like, every corner just wants to make a ton of money off of you. Okay, next video.
So what's the fix to our healthcare system? How about battleships?
What?
Go ahead and pick your next president. How are you going to fix?
These AI videos are so dumb.
So, Grandpa, how's the South been treating you?
Great, ever since I bought this Tesla robot at an auction in Charleston.
Oh, wow. Kind of weird seeing someone like you with one of these.
Everyone in the South has them now. It's a way of life. It might do you well to get yourself a clanker.
What did you just say?
Clanker. That's what they called, ain't it?
Just the way you're saying it sounds really wrong.
He ain't a real person. Maybe a fraction of a person at most. Like half or 3/4. Maybe somewhere in between.
There it is again. The way you're describing him just sounds a little racist.
Boy, you should see the
Yes.
the way we talk to the clankers out in the field. This one here gets special treatment because he's a house clanker.
House clanker? This sounds like slavery.
No, you city folk just haven't learned how to adjust to a new way of life.
Sounds like an old way of life.
Here in the South, we love our clankers. We give him shelter, keep him charged, but if he acts up, I will whip him into shape and put him in the hot box.
Hot box? I'm leaving.
The hot box is his charging station, see? It heats up his battery using infrared light.
You're racist, Grandpa! So, Grandpa, how's this?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Don't be mad at me, bro. Look. Hold up. Hold up. What the fuck is this?
I played this a long time ago, and yes. Yep. The Cool Kids Club, I guess you could say. I can't say their full name. I'm scared YouTube might kick me off. The club is there, okay? Alrighty, next video.
So if you missed this, silver, gold, and platinum are trading like meme coins at this moment. Silver and platinum specifically up over 40% just in the last month. They went up 5% yesterday. What does this mean? It means simply that people are running from the dollar and seeking out other storages of wealth in the form of shiny rocks. That's why they're trading like Dogecoin right now. And what this means...
Yep. It's scary, man. It really is. Especially since, the CIA has started actions now in South America. Yeah. That's not going to be great on the international community. It'll cause violence there. It'll cause more refugees. It's not great.
It means a lot of things, but I got to tell you 10 things real quick for it to make sense. Number one, since we've been printing money since 2008 and keep kicking the can down the road theoretically, we're stuck in a position where if we don't print money, our economy will crash. Number two, other countries aren't buying our debt. This has been the calling card of our country and other countries as well. To be able to fund our government, we sell our debt in the form of treasury bonds, and right now, that demand is at near all-time lows. Number three is the Cayman Islands. Other countries aren't buying our debt, but somebody has to be. It's the Cayman Islands. The Federal Reserve said $1.8 trillion is now held with the Cayman Islands, making them the number one holder of our debt, more than China, more than Japan, more than Germany, more than England. And that's concerning because money is moving in secret through hedge funds for basis trades in the guise of foreign demand when it's not. It's literally just us in the Cayman Islands. Number four, you can't afford anything. If things were tight, if things were tough, that's one thing, but things are outright unaffordable on so many different levels. Healthcare, childcare, senior care, getting an education, getting a car, getting a house, getting insured are all 50, 40, 60, 70% more expensive than they were just from 2020. Five, our Federal Reserve. Traditionally, when they make cuts to their Fed rate, bond markets react by dropping their yield. Investors say, oh, okay, cool. Easier investment, I don't need as much money. But instead, now rate cuts signal inflation. And inflation is the bane of an investor's existence in our debt. And so they're demanding a higher yield, hence why mortgage rates are up for you. That's not good. Number six, the wealth gap. It's grown to an exponential level and will continue to grow according to the Canteen effect. The Canteen effect was created by a French-Irish economist in the early 1700s who said that anytime we add money to our monetary base, whenever our monetary base expands, we add money to the economy, only three people benefit: the government, the banks, and asset holders. And if you don't hold an asset, and if you're not a big banker, money printing doesn't help you. Seven, our GDP. Though the number of 4% looks pretty good, if you remove healthcare costs, that drops to about 1 to 1.5% because healthcare costs are a large amount of our GDP. The other way is the fact that the GDP uses a formula that includes imports, and imports have dropped dramatically, which anchors that number up, making it look a little better when in actuality, we have a lot of countries sending us a lot less stuff, and some people would attest that to tariffs. 8, the Magnificent Seven. Dang it, I should have made that number 7. The Magnificent Seven are the 7 AI-based companies that currently lead our S&P 500.
The economy is so fucked. There's so many things, so many little factors that our government just puts band-aids on it.
If you were to remove them from the S&P 500 earnings, you'd find that the S&P 493 has been remarkably since 2020. But with those Magnificent Seven, our S&P 500 is booming, leading a lot of people to think maybe we're in an AI bubble. 9, our dollar has had one of the weakest years in the last 50 years. In fact, it took 53 years to find a year where we had a worse performance. And to be frank with you, that just simply means an hour worth of your labor at whatever job you're working is earning you less commodities on the back end of it. Your dollar is worth less. It has less spending power. 10, and arguably most important, I made a video April 3rd after Liberation Day where the tariffs were announced that, hey, I think that we're going to see some kind of crazy crash from this. Why? A lot of it is just due to the fact that people were slapped in the face. Other countries slapped in the face, disrespected a bit. And the fact that these tariffs came in such a haphazard manner, we didn't know what was going on, and now they're this, and now they're that, and now they're in a Supreme Court hearing, and other countries are just tired of us, dude. They're just tired of us. They're tired of the U.S.'s dominance. They're tired of the dollar's dominance. You see BRICS and other formations like trying to de-dollarize the world. And I think just other...
My view is that the alternative, and China and Russia has been trying to set up like, you know, BRICS and all that. BRICS, I believe. My main issue is that China is reliable if you're like an international country and you want to partner up with them. You're scared of the dollar collapsing. China is a reliable partner, but other countries are not. Their relationship on the BRICS economy is so fragile. Like I think some countries wanted to make like a similar currency compared to the euro. Like they couldn't. It's so fragile. It's insane. Compared to like something like the European Union, their economy or their way of setting up the laws and how interstate commerce and all that, it is way, way, way better than whatever BRICS could come up with. And US still has a bunch of sanctions in Russia. I heard that today India did go up on their GDP, so making them the 4th biggest economy. I'm pretty sure people want to partner up with them just for the tech. I don't know. It's a very, very messy situation. In all honesty, if America gets its act together and if it partners up with the European Union to do more, it could definitely like outcompete BRICS. Even when BRICS wants to try to look like they are the better alternative solution to be partnered with if you're like a neutral country like Singapore or some African country, something like that.
Other countries are forming a more nationalistic view on their own economy. We see this happening in Japan right now, where they're more focused on their own economy rather than being the debt supplier for the rest of the world. And if other countries all at the same time are starting to become more nationalistic with their economies and less reliant on the dollar, less reliant on our welfare system of the currency that we have, well, then it has less power. The bonus point is the Federal Reserve and its usury model is working as it's supposed to be. The fractional reserve lending system our banks utilize to inflate our dollar is working exactly as it's supposed to be. The consistent and constant debasement of our currency leading us to some form of accord that's going to shift the way we view our economy, shift the way that we do money, is seemingly more and more plausible every day. A Mar-a-Lago Accord seeming more plausible every day. And if you follow the track of history, Mar-a-Lago Accord seeming more plausible every day. And if you follow the track of history, it all checks out from 1907's bank panic to 1910's Jekyll Island meeting to 1913's Federal Reserve to the 1933 New Deal. Then the slow and steady ripping out of that New Deal for the next century as we go through Bretton Woods, as we go through the Nixon shock, as we get the Reaganomics, and then we get NAFTA, and then we get the removal of Glass-Steagall, and then we have an SEC margin rule change in 04, and then we have 2008's bank panic, and then we have the 2010 Citizens United, and then we have a 2019 repo market crisis, and then what do again? We print money. We just constantly print money. We throw band-aids on a problem that requires surgery. We need to stay overnight and have months and months and months of recovery. Instead, we're like, take this band-aid, go back out into the game, bro. And he's walking out there with 17 concussions like, oh, okay. That's our dollar right now. And all this to say, I'm not Nostradamus. I'm a real estate agent sitting in the parking lot about to go to the gym. A whack gym, too. It's Planet Fitness. We don't really have a good one in Milford. People are struggling.
Doesn't Planet Fitness have good pizza? Like every once in a while they'll bring pizza by? I don't know. That's what I heard. Hey guys, judgment-free zone, okay? Judgment-free zone.
And the economy isn't getting any better. It's only getting weaker. And our obsession with taking the money printing syringe and going, just to solve the issues of today instead of thinking about the issues of tomorrow that it could cause?
That's one thing about our presidency system, is that especially politicians and even like, Congress, right? Everyone works in a cycle of like, they get elected, they do something beneficial right now to look good, and then they head over to the next, election cycle. A lot of it is just Band-Aid. You look at the Reagan era, a lot of that, like, it gave a boost to the economy. It looked good. Everyone's lives were better. But then, like, in the long term, everything is just fucked. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Has been happening since 08. Our economy fractured systematically shifted dramatically in 2008 when we decided that instead of allowing for that crash to be as bad as it was supposed to be, we printed money. We took our world dominance and we made an irresponsible decision. The same irresponsible decision that we've been making since 1913. That debasement of our currency in order to achieve world dominance was an okay trade. That sacrifice of the working class's ability to survive is okay as long as the top elite can remain elite. And as long as our country can do well on the numbers, everything looks good, it doesn't matter what's going on underneath. Can I give you a quick story and then I'm going to shut up? I was in the Army, National Guard for a bit. I did a tour overseas, did 4 years active. And when I was at my National Guard unit finishing out my time in the Army, I was really good at PT. I loved PT. I was super competitive. I had the record for our state. I got a 362 PT score. The normal score is like a 300. That's like the perfect score. You can go above it if you do other things. And I did. I wanted to go to Ranger School. And I got back to my Guard unit and I was like, okay, cool, PT test. Now for 4 PT tests in a row, 2 years in a row, I had unknowingly helped get my captain a promotion. See, I wanted to switch units. I did not like the leadership of our unit. And frankly, I just didn't like the job I was in. I was like, okay, if I'm going to finish up my last year, this silly National Guard thing, let me at least do something I enjoy on the weekends. And he denied me. And he denied me again. And then I had an interesting talk with my first sergeant. My first sergeant brought me into a room and he kind of gave me that wink-wink conversation saying, Zach, I want to let you know why we denied your request. We denied your request because you currently have the top PT score in the state. And that is a flag that our captain is able to wave to earn him another promotion. Upon learning this, I went ahead and said, okay. I had another PT test in the coming month. I ran my 2 mile. I got to the finish line. I stepped my toe to the line, finishing first, but didn't cross. I looked at my captain. I flipped him off. I did that. And then I turned around and I helped people that weren't able to finish in time meet their minimum, try to finish. I helped about 18, 20 people, and then I crossed the line at my minimum. Then came push-ups. I knocked out my minimum amount of push-ups in about 20, 30 seconds and got up. Sit-ups, same exact thing. My captain knew exactly what I was doing. I was no longer going to be a part of the system that only benefited him. I was not going to be the cog in a system that was going to give him a better life. The cogs in our system are us, guys. We are what make this machine go. The productivity versus what we actually make as a country is actually completely on par. Except the working classes is seeing the benefit of it. The working classes is seeing the ability to push themselves through to the next class, get themselves into a home, get themselves into a lifestyle that they can feel comfortable in, all because the elite want to be more comfy. And it's happening right in front of our face as we watch these commodities rip. It's not normal, but it is a sign. It's a sign.
Here's the thing, and he's not wrong. That's why back then we had union, strong labor laws, the things to give the balance from the rich back to the working class, okay? Back then, people were like maybe 5 to 50 times more richer than, you know, their working class equivalent. And now we're seeing like freaking 500% more. And it's like, oh my God. The rich is getting so freaking rich. It is insane. And we have to be the part to make this country great. We can't rely on politicians. You know? Maybe we'll vote for someone that's good. Sorry.
So if
maybe we'll vote for someone that's good, hopefully.
And it's happening right in front of our face as we watch these commodities rip. It's not normal, but it is a sign. It's a sign of what's been inevitable for a while. The consistent and constant debasement of our currency until one day, it just doesn't work anymore. Till one day, that lever, the Federal Reserve, it just snaps. And that the money printing game that we have to remain the world reserve currency just doesn't fly with the world anymore. And I would say that these are signs that show clear and obvious hints toward economic totalitarianism and the need to have a complete economic shift to remain the world dominant currency.
Yes, sir.
Also, who cares about being the world #1 economy? Why are we so obsessed with that? There's a lot of other countries that are 25th that have a lot better mental health, right? But we got to be #1.
Being #1 has its weird advantages, but that's a story for another day. One more video, okay? And then I'm going to log off.
What do you mean internet detectives have already uncovered the most disgusting stuff about that church in Michigan? We're talking about the Second Reformed Church in Kalamazoo, where a homeless woman goes in to speak to this woman, Janice. This elderly woman is also in the office of this church. Just to talk to them because she parked in this parking lot and had a sticker saying that she would be towed. And she's homeless, also disabled. So she's like, okay, they're open. I'm just gonna go talk to them and explain to them why I was trying to sleep here last night. She's very polite. She explains, I'm disabled. I get $900 a month. I have been homeless for 18 months and I'm just trying to find a safe place to sleep overnight in my vehicle. Neither of these women could care less. What makes it worse is that this woman continues to say, I'm not only going to get your vehicle towed, I'm going to call the cops. This woman starts recording her, so they are now literally recording each other to find out that's one of the pastors for this church. Same pastor that literally preaches about compassion, goodwill, and holds prayer.
They want certain types of people going into their church, especially people that look good and willing to pay. Those two are very important to many churches, and you'd be surprised. They got a brand to uphold, you know?
With her congregation about how she wants the church to be a sanctuary for those in need. None of that is as shocking as what they found about this woman. Buckle up, people, because Janice is married to this man named Robert. Guess what Janice's husband is? A registered offender. But wait, it gets worse. Not only is her husband a registered offender for children, she knew he was a registered offender because his first charges started back in 2001. Exactly what charges did he get to become a registered offender? These are the charges he got in Michigan. This is public record. So
Whoa.
What exactly does this mean, second degree? It means that the child that had to be under the age of 16 for this to qualify as a second degree was either someone he is biologically related to, a child that was living under his roof when this happened, or he was in a position of authority. It means he was either a teacher, a substitute teacher working at the school, or was in a leadership role at a church where the victim attended. I could not make this up if I tried. We're not done yet, because allegedly Janice and her husband Robert also own a local boutique where teens under the age of 16 like to shop. Mind, we're talking about multiple charges linked to this man. All of them have relationship, which either means this is a kid that was living in the house with him, this was someone who is biologically related to him, or he's related to by marriage, or he was in an authoritative position over this child and she's married to him and is still married to him. Also worth noting that the church shut down all information about their pastors and staff a year ago. All of this information has been uncovered in the last 48 hours. If you haven't seen this original video, don't worry, I got you. After I post this video, I will follow it with a shortened version of that video and tag the woman that all of this happened to. What do you mean internet?
Yes, the Wayback Machine. It is a godsend. Godsend.
Today we're tasting military food.
Okay, nope. I've seen this video before. Alrighty. Okay, guys. Well, Happy New Year's. Hope you guys are doing well, staying with family. I hope your year is gonna be amazing. Whatever you went through in 2025. I believe in you. I believe that you are gonna be awesome. Okay? And sometimes I don't believe in myself either, so I have to tell myself that I have to believe in myself. And what is my end goal? Well, I don't want an end goal. I want a continuous goal. I want to make videos full time, just talking about random stuff. I kind of want these to be like therapy session. I don't want it to be just videos that are doom and gloom. I want to eventually start doing podcasting too, like just interviewing cool people. I don't know, like people working in video games, CEOs or whoever, you know, investors, people that you don't really see or talk to, and You know, it would be cool to, you know, interview just the most random people, maybe even older folks about like, you know, military career or I don't know, just anything, like anything that is cool. I hope I can make enough money one day to build out a studio and just do cool interviews like those, you know. Maybe talk to historians. God, I've talked to historians before. They are awesome. Maybe even invite like, I don't know, younger people, like people that are about to graduate high school, graduate college, see like different phases in life, you know. Maybe like check out, I don't know, cool apps with them, you know. I remember talking to my cousins before, and you guys remember that app that was super popular like a year ago for, it's called like Be Real or something. It's not doing hot now, but I don't know, it's always like I love to talk to people that I can't really like predict conversations, you know. Like those are the moments that I like to challenge my brain a little bit, you know. Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much for listening to me to ramble on and on. I kind of want to keep these videos like minimal edits. I just want to be here. I just want to be with you guys just talking and making videos and stuff. That's all. This is my first video, and I hope there's many more to come. Okay? Alrighty. Good night, guys.